YouTube, come on in, come on in, come on in. I hope you're having a fabulous start to your weekend. Welcome to the Aries Rose Show. If you are not familiar with me, my name is Aries Rose, and welcome to Aries Rose TV. Here on this channel, we talk about streaming shows, movies, TV shows, world news, local news, politics, celebrity news, basically anything I find interesting, I come on and discuss with my Aries crew. This morning, we have a fabulous show lined up for you, so come on in, get comfortable, get your breakfast, get your water, get your tea, get your coffee, whatever you may drink, and let's get into some things. It's going to get a little bit messy because we get a little bit messy over here, and you're going to get Aries energy in every review. If you're on Instagram, follow us there, Aries Rose TV, and we'll follow you back. Let us know you're from YouTube when you follow us over there. Just another way to connect with the channel. Also, on the YouTube Communities tab, they've changed it up a little bit. So subscribers can now talk back. So you can leave discussion items, questions, if there's trends, topics, breaking news, things you want me to discuss on the channel, you can put that on the Communities tab. I use it pretty regularly, so go over and check out that Communities tab. Look forward to chatting with you on there. Let's have some discussions. We can even continue talking about videos that have already been done if there's a topic you want to extend out a conversation on. And if you have a product or service that you like to advertise or collaborate on the channel, I will leave the business email here in the description. Reach out. We'll definitely see if it is a good fit. And let's get into the topics that we have lined up for you this morning. So, Shannon Sharpe got some good news, so to speak, because the lawsuit that was filed against him by Jane Doe, and Tony Busby was the lawyer behind that lawsuit, that has been dismissed with prejudice. So, we got to talk about that. I don't know if it will necessarily save Shannon Sharpe's career or his public image, but we're going to get into some discussion on that. And then we have Stephen Colbert, who is got a late night show. He's had it on for a while now. I want to say maybe it's got to been 10, 8, 10 years. Definitely more than 5 if I remember. I don't remember the exact start date, but I know he's been on for quite some time. His show has been canceled, which I think is indicative of where we are today with the TV landscape and how people are consuming media and where they get their information from. But nonetheless, that is a pretty big deal that his show on a cable network is being canceled. So we have to talk about that. And Joy Taylor, who was over at FS1, Fox Sports 1, has been fired. And this comes after a lawsuit was filed by a former coworker and an investigation took place. So, of course, we got to get into that so we can find out what was going on there. As you come in, if you can like the video, greatly appreciate it. Goes a long way here and means a lot. And if you are a returning Aries crew member, leave hashtag Aries crew in the comments. If you're a first time watcher, leave first time watcher in the comments. I'm going to give you a shout out for stopping by. And when you subscribe to the channel, in the comments, I want to personally welcome you to the Aries crew and give you a shout out. And let's get into the first story here. We're going to slide in one more about a couple that was caught cheating at a Coldplay concert when they had the little kissing cam that swerved over and caught them on there. And then they both immediately tried to act like they weren't just hugged up with each other and just did a very awkward separation that made it very obvious that they should not be seen together. So we got to talk about that. Excuse me. All right, let's get into Stephen Colbert and his late night show. It's going to be going off the air here. So, first off, let me know in the comments if you even still watch late night shows. I mean, there was a time when late night shows were king, and you had Jay Leno, David Letterman, who literally made their careers in doing late night shows. Besides comedy, but they mainly did late night shows there, at least by the time they came on my radar in the late 80s and 90s, and they did for quite some time, and they made their living doing that. And there's others that have been in the landscape, like Conan O'Brien, Jimmy Kimmel, Um, you also have Jimmy Fallon as well, who's doing a late night show. Arsenio Hall at one point was doing a late night show as well, but he didn't, make it past a certain point as far as how long the show lasted. But late night shows have been around. And I think appetite for just general cable television has gone down because the way people consume their media now, you get your information where you get your news, your breaking news, is through social media outlets like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube is very popular place for you to come and get your news and information. Not to mention a lot of those news stations are also on YouTube as well. So they know that there's a market for it. I believe TikTok is another place where people will go to get information. And I don't even know, honestly, how many people still have cable. I'm surprised cable is even still around to this day because I feel like streaming has took over mainly how people watch TV because you can go through YouTube TV or there's other options for getting television cable stations on your TV outside of cable now. Generally, I know you probably need cable for maybe Wi-Fi, but you could not have formal cable and still get access to those channels in other ways. So I just don't think people are watching them like that, and I don't think they have the same relevancy as they used to before. Because again, you can watch YouTube 24/7 and find a video on anything. At the time, late night shows were popular is because there was nothing else on TV late, so it was something to watch if you're still up and you wanna keep watching TV, but it's different now. You can find a lot of media all the time, it's virtually never shut off at all. So Stephen Colbert's show, I am sure, was a casualty of the changing landscape in media. So let's get into what's going on with his show cancellation here. And let me know, did you watch or do you watch the Stephen Colbert show? And I've seen it, but I haven't watched it as a regular watcher. I don't think ever. I liked him when he was on the Jon Stewart show, but I did not really watch his own late night show, but I'm not really a huge late night show person. So that does not really mean anything, but it wasn't a show I'm going to say I'm going to miss, but I do think he had some interesting commentary on things, and I think he did a great job for what he did. His audience loves him. And this is reporting from TMZ. Stephen Colbert late night show coming to an end. Network cites money issues. Stephen Colbert will finally get to embrace the life of a morning person because he's got one more season and then he's leaving late night television behind. More specifically, CBS announced that the Late Show with Stephen Colbert is officially coming to an end, which of course means its host will need to look for new work after May 2026. Company made the announcement Thursday, calling the move, quote, purely a financial decision against the challenging backdrop in late night. It is not related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount, end quote. This is the second late night show CBS has canceled after previously axing After Midnight, hosted by Taylor Tomlinson. The network wanted a third season but decided not to renew it when Tomlinson decided to focus on stand up instead. According to Variety, Colbert told the audience at his show on Thursday about the cancellation, so we'll have to wait to hear what he says tonight. Anywho, might want to start practicing your golf game, Steven, because retirement doesn't seem that far away. So I think it's definitely the ending of an era. I can tell we're kind of in the midst of a change, and that was kind of like the old guard, if you will. Give me a moment. So it's kind of like the old guard, if you will, and then we're ushering into this new social media age where people are consuming information and content and news and um, getting their getting their getting their information about how you're gonna make decisions and learning about things through YouTube and from regular people. You don't necessarily have to be a name or attached to any kind of already established media outlet like CBS or ABC. If you come on, you know your information. You can connect with people that way. And people are wanting to connect more with people, something that's tangible, they can relate to, they can see themselves in. So I just feel like that whole really super produced. That whole look of the late night show and just how television works before, all of that's going to go away because people are looking for more authenticity. I think Stephen Colbert did a great job with the show. He ran the show like how it worked at that time, but things have changed, and it'll be interesting to see if he transitions into YouTube. A lot of people are doing that. Joy Reid lost her show, and Joy Reid had a really good following. And Joy Reid said that they had really stable ratings as well. They didn't really lose a whole lot after the election, so they were holding on pretty steady. But she lost her job as well, and she's on YouTube now, and she's got a successful YouTube channel, and she just started that. So looks like a lot of those folks are transitioning into this direction. Don Lemon, I got let go from CNN couple years ago, and he's transitioned into YouTube and he's doing well. So I could see Stephen Colbert doing the same. I do feel for the people who work on the production with those shows, and hopefully they'll be able to transition and find something else. But honestly, that medium is changing, and you definitely have to see the writing on the wall and start acquiring other skills or looking into different aspects of it, because I think that's going to change, and we're just not going to see a whole lot of those types of shows anymore. It's going to be a lot of things based off of YouTube here or Instagram, Facebook. It's definitely a lower overhead, I'm sure, to produce and put together. So we'll keep you posted here on how things go. But if you like the Stephen Colbert show, it's still going to be on up until 2026. And I'm sure even after the point that the show ends, you'll be able to find reruns and clips here on YouTube because that stuff lasts forever. But we'll let you know what next ventures we hear Stephen Colbert is going into, or if anything else changes on the late night landscape as well. And now let's get into this couple that was caught at the Coldplay concert having an affair. So I am all for putting people out there that are doing things that they should not be doing, and that's because they put themselves out there. So this would be different if this was somebody trying to expose them and they were trying to be discreet and not coming out in front of everybody, but they decided to publicly go to a concert knowing that they are both married, allegedly, from what these reports are saying. And then they decided to be physically affectionate to each other in public, knowing that they are married. So, married to other people, not to each other, but married to other people. So, if you're having an affair, and these are also alleged coworkers as well, why are you going out into public spaces? And then why would you be shocked when you may be exposed at one of those public places? Like, if you're trying to hide it, you need to hide it. And that means not going out in places where people can see it. There's a camera, there's a video everywhere. You have to operate like people can see what you're doing all the time, even if you can't see them recording. And this couple, I guess their hubris took over and they thought they were okay. Or they thought, oh, there's so many people here at this Coldplay concert, nobody's going to notice us. And maybe that would have flown. But the universe said, nope, we're going to expose you. And so now we're going to expose you here on the channel because you shouldn't have been cheating. If you don't want to be with somebody, break up with them. I never understood this. Let's stay together, but I'm going to date other people, hurt your feelings, humiliate you, instead of just asking for a divorce so you can freely date other people and not hurt people by doing that while you are with them. So let's get into this. All right, let's see. Ooh, there's so many videos on this already. We're going to go with, let's see, the astronomer announces Coldplay concert CEO astronomer launching full scale investigation. So let's get into this. This reporting from TMZ. Astronomer CEO Andy Byron and the company's HR head Kristen Cabot are in hot water after they were caught canoodling at Coldplay's concert earlier this week. So I'm going to read that off to you again. Astronomer CEO Andy Byron and the company's HR head, Kristen Cabot, were having an affair. Now, these are two higher up, what they call them, suite level executives that are doing something that they know is not going to be good on the company policy because the CEO and the HR person are canoodling up. And on top of that, you're both married. Not a good look. Not a good look at all. So that just goes to show you can have higher level positions that you would assume would require a certain level of thinking and comprehension and understanding that should have led them both, especially the head of HR, to know that that is not appropriate behavior, the way you want to represent yourself. So I was like, I'd love to be a fly on the wall for meetings the head of HR was running, knowing that she's violating stuff herself. But let's get into this story here because the company is launching an investigation into their relationship. The company announced the investigation Friday morning, telling its followers, more importantly, its investors, astronomers looking into the matter, and quote, "We'll have additional details to share very shortly," end quote. Astronomer also used the opportunity to clear the air, announcing a woman identified as a VP in the Human Resources Department was not at the concert, despite reports, and Byron has not actually released a statement yet. In case, in case you may, um, two people were caught canoodling. In case you missed it, two people were caught canoodling on a jumbotron before diving away from one another, and these people appear to be Byron and Cabot. The video, published by a woman named Grace Springer, gained immediate attention online and has already sparked some pretty ruthless, albeit creative merchandise. While some, like Astronomer co-founder and former CEO Rye Walker, have come to Byron's defense, a resurfaced expose citing anonymous employees of Astronomer is making the rounds and alleges he lashed out and even threatened employees at a previous job. It may take time for Astronomer to get to the bottom of this situation, but they're on the case. That's crazy. Coldplay concert, and you think, oh, I'm just going to be out of sight, out of mind. Nobody's going to notice me here. I'll just bring my little side piece here. We'll have a great time, and then we're going to go home to our families like nothing happened. And surprise, surprise, you got caught because you shouldn't have been out doing that to begin with. People, if you don't want to be with someone, stop cheating and just get a divorce. It makes zero sense to me to do that. It hurts a lot of people when you do that. It's just completely not worth it, and it's never made sense to me how adults cannot be honest with each other about their feelings and do silly things like this. But play silly games, you win silly prizes, and those two, we'll see if they'll be winning a silly prize here for that poor behavior that they displayed there. And let's see, we got one more story on that particular subject here. This is reporting from TMZ. Looks like the sports world is getting in on the viral kiss cam moment at the Coldplay concert this week because several baseball teams recreated the stunning scene at their Friday night games. Check out the hilarious videos of the Philadelphia Phillies mascots poking fun at the situation. Clocks by Coldplay plays as the kiss cam locks in on the Philly fanatic cuddling up to a female fanatic, which looks just like him in a blonde wig. When the fanatic couple realizes they've been caught, they quickly duck out of sight, just like Astronomer CEO Andy Byron and HR Chief Kristen Cabot did at Wednesday's Coldplay show in Boston. But they weren't the only ones to jump in on the trend. The Arizona Diamondbacks also got in on the fun with a slight twist. The Kiss Cam caught mascot D. Baxter and Bobcat canoodling with a Cardinals fan. They also hid from the camera and then came back with no regrets as they went in for a big, passionate smooch. And we can't forget about the Savannah Bananas. They played the party animals at St. Louis Busch Stadium Friday and caught their mascots red-handed too. Proof is all there. One of the SB's mascots, Princess Poncetta, was spotted getting all touchy-feely with Party Party the party animal until they were embarrassed and covered their faces as well. As you are well aware, the above baseball teams were parodying the very real life oopsie moment that happened at Coldplay show at Gillette Stadium, where Andy and his HR head were caught getting close on the kiss cam. And they weren't just canoodling. TMZ obtained exclusive video showing the pair locking lips before their PDA was aired for the stadium to see and then posted on social media for the world to view. Neither has commented on the scandal, but Astronomer announced it's launched an investigation into the matter and selected an interim CEO while Andy is on leave. Yeah, I don't think it was worth it. I just honestly don't think it was worth it. They should have kept it more honest with their partners there, and they could have made different moves. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep that conversation going. And now let's get into Joy Taylor. She has been let go from FS1, which is Fox Sports 1. And earlier this year, or towards the end of last year, a lawsuit had been filed by a former employee there alleging that Skip Bayless had offered, I want to say it was 1.5 million to have adult activity with her, and she was not interested, needless to say. And she also talked about how she was friends with Joy Taylor, and when Joy Taylor would tell her that she was allegedly having an affair with some people there, Emmanuel Acho and Charlie Dixon. And Charlie Dixon, I believe, was like the head over there at the Fox Sports, so it was not a good look at all. And when the person who filed the lawsuit, Nugent Faraji, I believe is the name, had mentioned that Charlie Dixon had like come on to her allegedly or was like trying to touch her backside. That Joy Taylor kind of dismissed it and was like, how do you think, you're going to have a job or you have all of this stuff? Like, just suck it up, just deal with it. It's not that big of a deal. Um, was allegedly her attitude towards it. So very interesting, but it put a spotlight on Joy Taylor because although the lawsuit was not necessarily towards her or about her per se, she was included in there, and those things just weren't a good look. And so naturally, when that lawsuit was filed, the company did an investigation, and this is where it looks like we've landed. Okay, excuse me, I have allergies. All right, so let's get into this story here from Yahoo Sports. It's Yahoo Sports online. Fox Sport host Joy Taylor has been fired in a major network shakeup following months of behind-the-scenes controversy. Taylor's daily talk show Speak has been canceled and her contract has not been renewed after more than a decade with the network, according to The Atlantic. She had co-hosted Speak since September 2022, most recently alongside former NFL wide receiver Keyshawn Johnson and former NBA star Paul Pierce. FS1 also canceled the facility hosted by former NFL players Emmanuel Acho, Chase Daniel, James Jones, and LaShawn McCoy, and Breakfast Ball hosted by Craig Carton, Mark Sorleth, I might be saying that last name wrong, and Danny Parkins. All three shows struggled to find a huge audience, prompting the cancellations per The Atlantic. US Weekly has reached out to Fox Sports and Taylor for comment. Cancellations come roughly 6 months after Taylor, 38, was named in a sexual assault and discrimination lawsuit, also aimed at Fox Sports and former host Skip Bayless. In the lawsuit filed in January by former Fox Sports hairstylist Nugent Faraji, Taylor allegedly told Faraji to get over it when Faraji told her she had been groped at Taylor's birthday party in 2017. Faraji also accused Taylor of mocking her accent and complaining about Faraji's humming, which the lawsuit called an involuntary subconscious coping mechanism for Faraji's diagnosed PTSD. Taylor denied all the allegations in the lawsuit. In a February statement to The Atlantic, a spokesperson for Taylor said including Taylor's name in the lawsuit was a great way to garner more media attention. Quote, the claims set forth against Ms. Taylor are devoid of merit and appear to have been strategically framed to create unwarranted publicity rather than to seek legitimate redress. End quote, the spokeswoman said. The spokeswoman added, quote, Ms. Taylor denies each and every allegation against her as set forth in the plaintiff's complaint to the extent they allege any wrongdoing, liability, or entitlement to relief, end quote. Bayless, 73, was accused of offering Faraji $1.5 million to have X with him. According to Faraji, Bayless would also give her, quote, lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek while putting his body against hers and pressing against her upper half here, end quote. A response filed by Bayless' attorney said Faraji, quote, consented by words or conduct, end quote, to the alleged conduct. Oh. It also argued that Faraji was not entitled to recover damages, quote, to the extent that any purported emotional distress or pain and suffering damages allegedly suffered by plaintiff was caused by any pre-existing psychological or medical conditions, end quote. So we'll keep you posted on this, but it looks like that's a big shakeup over there at FS1. So best wishes to all those who are no longer over there. Their shows were canceled or on hiatus. We'll see if they transition on over to YouTube. Part of the benefits of being independent is somebody cannot take the job away from you. So, and look at Shannon Sharpe, for example, who we will be segueing into. But Shannon Sharpe has his own Club Shay Shay podcast, and he has a channel on YouTube, and then he has the nightcap with Chad Ochocinco. But he was also working at ESPN, and he lost that job with ESPN. Well, he says he stepped away, but I think he had to step away after that $50 million lawsuit was filed. And he claims he's going to be coming back, I think, after the NFL draft. But I don't think that Shannon Sharpe is coming back to ESPN. If he comes back there, great. But I just think that's not likely because that lawsuit was not a good look, and the stuff that came out was pretty bad. So, but he has his own stuff, and if he didn't have that club, Shay Shay, or the nightcap, losing ESPN could have been everything. So that's very, very telling of like where we are, that you do have to have your own thing because you never know when something may change with your working situation, or there's things you have to follow at work that once that's violated, or you're found not in compliance with their policy and stuff, you can lose your job and you could potentially lose your livelihood. So having other streams of income or other things is important. So we'll see if those folks have anything, but we'll definitely keep you posted on how that lawsuit is going and any other updates we may get on it. And then we got to get into Shannon Sharpe here because that lawsuit has been dismissed. That was filed by Jane Doe, and Tony Busby was the attorney in that case. So let's get some information on that. And if you are on the live, if you've been on this long, go ahead and join the Aries crew. We'd love to have you here. It's free to join. All you got to do is hit that subscription button and then hit that notification bell so you can find out every time we go live, post videos, post on the community page, and all of that good stuff. And when you do subscribe, make sure you let me know in the comments. I'm going to give you a shout out and personally welcome you to the Aries crew. You can like the video as you come in. It goes a long way and means a lot. All right, this is reporting from TMZ. Shannon Sharpe settles grape lawsuit, says Tony Busby. The attorney representing the woman accusing Shannon Sharpe of grape said Friday both sides have agreed to a settlement in the civil case. Tony Busby announced in a statement on his Instagram page that, quote, after protracted and respectful negotiations, end quote, Sharpe and his accuser, quote, reached a mutually agreed upon resolution, end quote. No word on the specifics of the couple's pact, but Busby added, quote, all matters have been addressed satisfactorily and the matter is closed. The lawsuit will thus be dismissed with prejudice, end quote, and that means it cannot be filed again. A woman ID'd only as Jane Doe sued Sharpe back in April, alleging the NFL legend brutally actually assaulted her several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, following a years-long ABUSIVE relationship. The, the woman who claimed she met Sharpe in 2023 at a gym in Los Angeles when she was 20 years old called Sharpe controlling and verbally ABUSIVE. Days after filing the lawsuit, Busby released an audio file in which a man sounding like Sharpe could be heard appearing to threaten to effing choke the S out of the accuser. Sharpe had called the woman's allegations, quote, a shakedown, end quote, and said he was planning to sue for defamation. Quote, I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about, and I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks, end quote. We've reached out to Sharpe's attorney for comment, but so far no word back yet. So I don't know how much she got paid, but I'm sure she got paid because Tony Busby is known for settling. I don't know if it was the 10 million, 15, 20. I don't think it was the 50 because I just don't think Uncle Shannon's got that 50 million like that, because I don't even know if he got his $100 million podcast deal that he was up for before that lawsuit dropped. But I just don't know if he's got it like that anymore, because I'm sure those opportunities changed once that lawsuit was filed and stuff started coming out, because it just was not a good look. And how Shannon Sharpe's attorney initially handled it, I thought was really messy and was not in his client's best interest. But kudos to Shannon for going ahead and getting that addressed, so you kind of stopped the bleeding from everything that was coming from there. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Let's keep that conversation going. Do you think Shannon Sharpe's going to come back to ESPN? Do you think that settling this lawsuit is going to help with this image, or do you think that the damage is done? We go live weeknights on YouTube, so you can catch the Aries Rose show there. We also try to come on the weekends. I'm going to do a review. I want to go catch the new Superman. Have y'all seen the new Superman? I've heard a little bit of reviews, not too much, because I want to just go in fresh and see it for myself. But I want to check that one out. So I definitely want to do a review on that. We got to talk about Jurassic World Rebirth. We got to talk about Megan 2.0, do a review on that. There's also some other movies out there I want to catch as well. So stay tuned on the channel for that. We got to do more movie reviews because I go to the movies a lot. I really, really love going out there to do that. So I got to make sure I incorporate that in more. And in the description box, we'll have a GoFundMe link. We are putting together money for a memorial for the father of my two younger children who passed away here in June. He passed away unexpectedly, and we were not financially prepared for him to pass away. And if you haven't had anybody pass away that you have to handle things for, it costs a lot of money. So it's pretty pricey, and we just weren't ready for that because we did not expect him to pass away. So we do have that GoFundMe available. You can find that on the communities tab. It will also be in the description box here. Any donation is greatly appreciated. No amount is too small, or even if it's just sharing the GoFundMe link out, that's appreciated as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. We'll see you later. Take care.